How's it going, everybody? I'm going to be showing you my Slifer deck in this video. If you want a longer video where I discuss this into more detail, check out the link in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into the deck tech. We're running 3 Slifer. This is because I wanted the deck to revolve around this card. We're obviously also running 3 of the new trap card. When Slifer is in our graveyard, this will allow us to special summon it and allow us to draw cards. The card is definitely really good. We are also running 3 Trap Trick, which is equivalent to running just 3 more of these Slifer cards. We do have other targets for Trap Trick in the deck, but the main target is going to be the Sky God. Then some other Slifer tech. We have 1 Thunder Force attack, 1 Soul Crossing just in case Slifer is in our hand and we want to wipe away our opponent's board, and 1 Ultimate Divine Beast. This is a good continuous trap card that can allow us to get Slifer back from the graveyard to the field almost every turn if our opponent decides to attack. I found this isn't the best card, but it's kind of there just in case. Also running 3 Metal Reflect Slime. Metal Reflect Slime is going to help us stall the game a little bit, as well as summon Egyptian God Slime to allow us to go into Slifer if Slifer does end up in our hand. This is pretty much going to be the Slifer package. There are definitely other cards I considered, but for now this is what I've been testing. Alright, so let's head on over to the other part of the deck. I'm running Cyber Dragons in the Cyberdark package because there's a card, Cyberdark Cannon, that when it's equipped to a Cyberdark card, we can send something from our deck to the graveyard. I found that it's very consistent, and also I love Cyber Dragons, as you can tell by the playmat, as well as if you go to any video on my channel. So we're running 3 Cyber Dragon Core, we're running 3 Emergency, which is equivalent to more Cyber Dragon Core since it's mainly our only target. We have 3 Cyberdark Realm. Cyberdark Realm allows us to search for a Cyberdark card and give us an additional normal summon. I'm running 2 Cyberdark Cannon. Again, Cannon's going to be the main monster we're going to be attaching to one of our Cyberdark monsters to send Slifer from the deck to the graveyard. The 2 monsters we're going to be using are Cyberdark Horn and Cyberdark Edge. Both have the same function in the deck. However, depending on what our opponent has on the board, it's going to depend on which we're going to select. If our opponent has a monster we can beat over, we're going to go with Horn. If they do not, we're going to go with Edge and attack their life points directly. We're running 1 Cyberdark Chimera. This gives us an additional play to go for an OTK using Power Bond. Also, if this is sent to the graveyard, we can send a Cyberdark monster to the graveyard from our deck too. Just another way to get the cannon into our graveyard. We're also running a Cyberdark Claw. This might get bumped up to 2 or 3 because it can search for a Cyberdark card, or specifically Spell or Trap. And also when this is attached to a monster, we can send something from the extra deck to the graveyard. So we are running some stuff in the extra deck that allows us to gain additional benefits. But I'm running for 1 for now because there's just already so many ways to get the Cyberdark cards into our hand that we need. I'm running 1 Cyberdark Invasion because I think this card is just great actually. We can equip more cards to our Cyberdark cards so they get even more benefits when they attack or are destroyed from the field. And we can also pop our opponent's cards on the field. And we're running a Cyberdark Inferno because this does really help protect our monsters since they can't be targeted. We can also bounce the Cyberdark cards back to our hand to normal summon them again to attach something from the graveyard. Only running 1 of each because they are searchable. I'm running 1 Power Bond because this assists with the OTK because we can search this off of Cyberdark Chimera. Also, Power Bond is such a cool card. These next 2 cards are additional cards we can send to the graveyard with Cannon's effect. Attachment Cyber is pretty great because we can equip it to our Cyberdark card as well. And if it is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, we can target 1 Dragon or Machine Cyber Monster in our graveyard and special summon it. So it helps if our monster gets destroyed in the field, at least we have a way to get it back. Kind of just makes it more problematic for our opponent. I'm testing out 1 Gizmek because this is a great card just to have in the graveyard because it's almost always live. It's a quick effect too to special summon it. We can banish 8 cards from our deck face down and just special summon this card. And if it is in the field, we could banish 3 cards from our extra deck face down and we can destroy 1 monster on the field. You can only use 1 effect only once that turn. So that kind of wraps up the Cyberdark package and kind of the engine of the deck per se. Next up, we just have some miscellaneous cards. Monster Reborn, obviously, because we run the Sky God trap card. If we banish that card from our graveyard, we can get a Monster Reborn to our hand or on top of the library, depending if we have a Slifer in the graveyard or not. Running a Change of Heart because it's my favorite magic card. Running 1 Pot of Prosperity just for consistency. If I had more copies, I'd probably run 2. However, I only have 1 for now. Running a Foolish Burial because we obviously want cards in our graveyard, and this is just a free way of doing so. Call by the Grave because we kind of have to. Raigeki because this is sort of a going second deck still. Even though we're not running a lot of board breakers, it might be good to cut some cards from the deck to run more. This can be exchanged for something like Lightning Storm or Evenly Matched. Maybe not Evenly Matched, but again, just some other board breakers. Harpy's Feather Duster because it's just a great card. I love destroying back row and nobody really expects you to mainboard it. And I'm running 2 Infinite Impermanence as just a hand trap. Also searchable off a Trap Trick. I was considering 3 and I did play test with 3, but I just found that this deck was getting very big. At one point it was like 50 cards, so I just had to slowly trim cards here and there. So having at least 2 in the deck just allows us to still summon off a Trap Trick. There are other cards that I'm considering for this deck, and there will be other cards that I'm going to be testing out in the very near future. However, for now, this is the current build that I found over the last few weeks to be pretty fun and spicy. If you are interested in some of the things that I did test and considered for other parts of this deck, check out the other video in the link below. Getting a little ahead of myself and I forgot to go over the extra deck. I currently have some of these cards still in the mail. For the extra deck, I'm running 2 Mega Fleet because we are running Cyber Dragons and we can easily contact fuse if they're in the extra monster zone. Running 1 Fortress just in case we're versing some machine deck, at least again we still can contact fuse them away. Running 1 Rampage Dragon and 1 Seeger, both are for the OTK. I only have 1 Entis, but I would play 2, maybe 3. We can send this off a Cyberdark Claw and pop something on the field. It is not once per turn. Another card I'm considering is Wing Pegasus. If another card we control is destroyed by battle or our opponent's card effect while this is in our graveyard, we can banish this and target 1 card our opponent controls and shuffle it into the deck. A good card sort of like Entis, except if we don't have a target that we want to use with Entis at that exact moment, we can do or use Wing Pegasus and at least get in the graveyard to set up for a future play. I am running some of the Charmers, so we have Lina and we do have the other card, the Dark one. Kind of both have just similar functions in the deck. We are running 1 Unicorn and 1 Phoenix, as well as the Cerberus. The Cerberus and the Dark Charmer, again, I don't know where they are in the mail. They've been there for weeks. Hopefully they come soon. We're just running some more generic stuff to help facilitate with the main part of the deck. We're running an Almirage because we have some normal summons in the deck, and it's just an easy link summon. I am running an Egyptian God Slime, possibly 2 of them. My Egyptian God Slime is currently not with me at the moment, but I do have one. I am also considering running the Super Dreadnought cards, more specifically the Gustav Max and the Juggernaut. Slifer is a level 10 monster, and typically we can get 2 on the field because we have so many ways of reviving and bringing it back. And if we do special summon Slifer, at the end of the turn, the effect triggers and we have to send it to the graveyard. So before we do that, we can obviously link them off, not link them off, we can exease them off into a bigger monster, so at least they get some value. The Super Dreadnought cards give us more value with our Slifer cards because again, at the end of the turn, they're just going to get sent to the graveyard anyway. So yeah, this is the current deck that I'm working on. However, I already have options and things that I'm going to be considering changing in the very near future. So if you're interested in that, stick around. But anyway, that's the deck tech. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you around.